microphone.
You guys can hear me? I kind of am loud, so I just don't like holding the microphone. So,
Yeah, turn it off first and then.
there we go. So my name is Teresa Ewins. I'm obviously the new captain of Tenderloin Station. You know, a lot of things that people have been asking me is kind of what my experience is, also what's my plan. The plan's already been put into motion by the station as well as some of the people in this room. There's some developers here. All this is already happening. So my job is really to clean up the areas that need to be cleaned up, right, and make it a safe environment for everybody. That's my goal. It kind of sounds a little simple. It's a lot more difficult than just that, right? So we have a lot of resources in the city. We have a lot of people talking about what we need to do. We have a lot of people that are taking action. The resources are not only from law enforcement, but the DA's office, city attorney, public health. I mean, there's a lot of different entities that are working together. So, you know, you've seen some of the groups come out. My job is to really coordinate everybody. We can't do it by ourselves. There's no way. And so our biggest allies are the people that live in this district and work in this district. And so we really need everybody's help. I'm open to any ideas that you guys have. I believe in kind of brainstorming. In all the meetings that I've been to so far, I've asked people to, you know, tell me what it is that's on your mind, but I'm about solutions. We can complain all day. We can sit around the table and say, this is horrible, this is horrible, this is horrible. But at the end of the day, if we don't have a plan and we can't put something together, then we really have nothing but the next thing to complain again, right? So we're going to look at our staffing, and I'm not going to complain about not having staffing. We have staffing. We have cops that are really good at what they do, and they've been doing it. Sometimes it may not be to someone's liking, but the fact of the matter is what we do is we bring people resources. If you sell drugs, if you're a user, if you're homeless, we're going to connect you to whatever resources we have. Yes, places are filled up, the navigation center is filled up, but there is a waiting list. And I'll tell you, I've never seen so many resources ever. I've been doing this for 20 years. There are waiting lists, but there were no waiting lists before because we didn't have the services to provide. So we're really the in-between. We provide, we'll go up to anybody that we think needs services and we'll offer it. Do you want services? It's a choice. And either they're going to say yes or no. If they say yes, majority of the time people are saying yes. We connect them to what they're most comfortable doing. So once they're in somebody else's hands, we just follow up later on. We have a homeless car. They go out every day. Majority of the city, their homeless car starts at either 3:30 or 4:30. We start at 5:30 because I want more people on the street. We'll reassess how we are, and then we'll adjust. We're going to be very flexible. Our scheduling is going to be very flexible. We're going to do things a little differently than before. So if it's not working, we're going to tweak it. We're going to have bikes, we're going to have hoofbeats, and we're going to have patrols. So with the growing district, we're going to have 5 car sectors. And really, those car sectors are going to be dependent on our ability to get around. So if there's an area that is, let's say, not getting the services that's needed, then what we'll do is actually adjust that. And we'll put bikes in the area. Sometimes, as you know, traffic is horrible, right? Can we all agree on that? So what's better? I used to ride a bike in the mission. Our goal was to always be the first ones to every call. And we would literally be the first ones to every call because traffic is horrible. And so bikes are the best resources we have. Seeing people on Market Street, connecting with the community, connecting with the businesses, that's what we have. We have our footprint. So in order for us to, for me, where I come from, you have to connect with the community. Each car sector is going to be responsible for their car sector. Now, consistency is everything, and so we really want to make sure that our car sectors, our beats, our bikes, they know the community in which they're serving. Makes sense, right? It hasn't always been that way because, as you know, our hiring was on a low end. So now that we have bodies, now we're able to actually put it out there. Our people can be consistent with the cars that they have as far as so there's car sectors. So we'll have consistent car sectors. You see the same faces in the car in that car sector. So you'll personally get to know them. Please talk to them. Just if you're developing, stop the cop on the street and start talking to them. Tell them what your issues are. Tell them what you need. And it's really that simple. So, like I said, I'm open for ideas. Last Tuesday of each month is my community meeting. I'd ask that everybody comes. I'd rather have standing room only. To be honest, honestly, I would rather pack the room and everyone voice their opinion, because right now it seems like block to block everyone has their safety meetings. Block to block, and I'd like to see everybody actually in the same room communicating what might be successful for them, might be successful for you on your block. And so it's very important that we have that communication and for us to actually put it out on the table. Okay. Do you guys have anything for me?
Yes,
Development? Taking a property that may have either been abandoned or, building new businesses, bringing in new businesses.
Okay, I just wanted to.
Okay. I'm sorry? I can't. My last name? Ewins. I've kept everybody kind of guessing. Everyone knows my business, so I'm just going to put it out there. My last name was Gracie last week. My divorce was final last week, and so now I have my maiden name back, Ewins. So it's one of those things. I didn't mean to confuse everybody. This was last minute, and it was confusing for everyone. I had emails that have both my names in it, and they don't. It's like, I can't wait to meet Captain Gracie, Captain Ewins. It's like, okay, let's just keep on confusing everyone. So, anybody else? Guys in the back, come on.
I wasn't here in time to hear some of the things he was talking about, so forgive me for that. Some of that questions I already answered.
Okay.
But we see what happened as a result.
As the what?
Sorry. When you see your future here going, and when you see, what chance do you see that can happen?
So I was here, I can't remember what year exactly I was here. I think it was in 2002, something like that. This district has changed vastly. I mean, you step out of the car, you get an arrest because somebody's either selling something or up to no good. Now, it's totally changed. You have people that are living here, that are residents, that are out at night, out in the early mornings, really trying to improve and connect the communities. And that's the difference that I see. I see a lot of people that are either homeless or drug or alcohol dependent that actually want to be off the street. You didn't really have that before because maybe it was about resources, maybe they didn't trust us. But that's a nice change. That's a very nice change. For our future, kind of cliche, it looks bright to me. But it looks really good. I mean, the district itself is going to be changing come Sunday. For those of you that don't know, our district is going to double in size. So, I think it's going to be the best district in San Francisco because you have so much diversity, you have so many different businesses and people, and it makes for a really good combination. And people are very serious about improving this area. And when you have that, it's nowhere but up.
Tuesday is a very strong growth program. Whereas out in the open, where they see it, they're selling and buying. It's going on to continue. And where it has changed, you have got different still exists from the back there. And it's even more bold out front now. Even if we cars pass by, and many times they won't, they might even know they will know anything about the situation there.
I've seen it, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I have a hybrid car that the department gave me, and it's really funny. I was making them drive around for me. And the things that people do in front of you, we're in full uniform, but we're in a, what is it? Ford Fusion. No one would ever guess that cops are going to jump out of Ford Fusion. We confuse so many people, I can't even tell you. I mean, people will sell right in front of me. And, do I need to?
No, you can finish.
Okay. So for the quick answer is we're discussing a lot of different programs, and we're gonna make changes. You know, I hate making predictions and promises, but we're gonna do our best to kind of think outside the box and come up with different ideas, different approaches, because we have a lot of people that are very, very experienced and really want to get rid of the problem, as opposed to a Band-Aid. I don't want to push it to another block. You know.
So, since the new district starts this Sunday, there are some additional resources.
Yes, we are.
Is the plan still to take some of the parking that's along the front of the park here along Bodecker and to transfer that to police parking only? That was kind of like the plan we discussed last year, and I just wondered if that was still you know anything about that.
I know a little bit. Let me ask you, would you rather have police cars parked on this street, or would you rather have people that are loitering to sell drugs, use drugs? I mean, really, it's your neighborhood. What do you guys think?
We'd like to see the police cars.
Cars and parks, good.
Cars.
Right, which is why I'm posing the question to you. I mean, there's a lot of different ideas being thrown around about parking, but I really want to also hear how it's going to impact the community, because this is my third week, so I really haven't been able to have this discussion necessarily. Parking obviously is an issue. The building is an issue as far as how many people we're actually going to eventually have in the station. So there's a lot of things that are going to be changing. We're not really sure what the overall approval is going to be for what they're going to provide us.
We'd like to see the police cars there, because that's not really that many parking spaces.
Right,
anyway.
right.
And I think the impact in the neighborhood would be more positive to have police.
I live across the street and we have a white strip by our place. We really need that for people to go, to get in and get out, loading zone. It's like, there's so many elderly people and their families driving up. That's, and the thing is, that's kind of very important to us, that not used.
And what is happening with that now?
Somebody said, some police person said to somebody that it was okay for them to park there.
Are you talking across from the station or
Yeah,
across
across
from
the
here?
station.
Oh, so you live across from our station?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I forget where I am. So, I'm just saying, Michael wasn't here, but he did bring that up to us. That we had white things in front of the buildings. Have to be for the people in the buildings.
I'll apologize right now because I accidentally parked there thinking it was our park. So
okay.
that was my turn.
Oh.
I'll admit it. I was in such a rush that I didn't even, I know, right? You should. Anyways, no, we've already had that discussion.
Okay.
And there won't be any more cars there, and if there is one there, you can personally come over and talk to me, and I'll have it moved. What keeps pointing to him? What is it?
Because he's got
He
questions.
has a question.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
When the discussion was going around about expanding the borders, we were very thrilled that when it was happening. And one of the biggest parts that we wanted to see was taking our border to at least 4th Street to encompass all of the BART station entrances. Because we have seen, other most of the officers have seen, commuter mentality on the drug dealers coming in and out of the city through the BART system. And I'm wondering if between your station and the DA's office, we can put pressure on the BART Police Commissioner's office to get the BART police officers to at least try to keep the drug dealers that get on in Oakland and come over here to sell in our neighborhood from coming.
This is the fourth meeting I've been to today, and everybody has said the exact same thing. And I can't control what BART does or doesn't do. I will have that discussion with BART. I actually know somebody that works here in San Francisco, so I will have a sit down with them and discuss that. The commute issue for drug dealers is interesting because it's always, in my 20 years, when I was at Mission, it was every single one that you arrested had a BART ticket. Public transportation, I don't even know what to say to this. I mean, it's an issue, and yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I will have that discussion. I'll try to address it.
We're like the front door, and just get off and we're right here.
Yeah.
So what do we do about solicitors that work in the Tenderloin, who give us jobs here, but they service other communities instead of supporting the people here?
I don't.
Well, it's sort of like dealing drugs. You got people who live here, but people know them, but they don't do business. They're personal with people here because, they employ people, but they service other outside communities instead of,
resources? Are you talking about resources, or are you talking about
Right.
drugs?
solicitors, residents of the Tenderloin who solicit things outside the Tenderloin, which bring the room in for drug dealers. Because, they're the hospitality house. I know these people, but there's people who come in off the business name of the hospitality house, but the corporation of the hospitality house does business outside of the Tenderloin.
So you want to see more businesses in Tenderloin servicing Tenderloin?
People have employment.
Okay.
There are people who employ people here, but they solicit to people outside the Tenderloin.
Right. No, I understand.
They spend more time outside the
Okay.
Tenderloin
Right.
than within the Tenderloin.
I don't know if that's necessarily something that is for me.
Well, that's how the drugs come over.
Okay, so you're saying outside people are bringing it into the Tenderloin, and I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Okay, this is for the employers who are here, but they don't do business. They don't provide business with us.
Okay, all right.
There.
Well, why don't we talk after? We talk after more about it, because we can talk about that. You guys are easy. That's not. You gotta throw me a hard.
Any
What?
other questions?
I do have one thing. Outside consumption, I moved away from the Tenderloin to get away from drugs. And whenever I come through the Tenderloin, I have to walk through somebody smoking crack. And I see a police officer across the street arresting somebody for something other than the crack that's being smoked on the sidewalk. And I wonder how come they can turn a blind eye to public consumption in this neighborhood.
I wouldn't say that we turn a blind eye. If we are dealing with one issue, we can't leave that and go deal with another issue, really. I mean, you're saying that public intoxication is better.
No, I'm saying people smoking crack on the sidewalk. As you're walking up Larkin Street, on the 1st and the 3rd of the month, you have to pass through that neighborhood. And every third person is smoking a pipe out in the open. And across the street are the people that keep their stuff on the sidewalk and sell stuff on the sidewalk. Well, the police are more trying to run them off than worry about the drug activities. And I just wonder, how come nobody's addressing it? Is it a safe zone for people to do public consumption?
Absolutely not. So
Right.
what you've just described is a lot of things going on at one time, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like you have a table full of food. Which one do you pick first?
The food.
Do you know what I mean?
The
Yeah,
food.
I just wonder if
drug
it's easy
dealing-
picking.
For you, drug dealing's up here,
No.
and I understand that. Our complaints, majority of the time, are about the public intoxication, someone drunk on the sidewalk, and making sure that person's okay. Not always drug use, because drug use is gone they're gone within seconds.
Right.
The drunk person on the ground or the person selling without a permit is there for a longer period of time. So our window is very short when it comes to somebody consuming narcotics. Yes. Have I seen it? Yes, I have. But the amount of it's tough. It's tough because you have to pick and choose what you're going to do.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm just, my curiosity.
Just think about how I've seen on several occasions where there was many other stuff going on, but down the street there's a whole bunch of that activity going on. But on this block, someone just bought a beer, they took them to the street, the cops come along, take the can of drink, and pour it on the street, and give them a ticket. Meanwhile, it seems that a negative going on is still going on for that block. Now, everybody knows there's a busy going for that block, but no one seems to deal with it. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, I've heard this one time ago, that the city had made this place a drug containment center, where all the drug activities are contained down here. If that's true, then he had to change that policy, because you're actually human beings too, we deserve to live in peace and have a good life, and to allow somebody to go on is unthinkable.
Okay. So I'm not going to say which one is better to take care of, okay? I had this conversation with a guy that I had throw out a beer. And there's literally, so we have sit-lie, we have drinking in public, we have public intoxication, a lot of different things that we're dealing with. Drug use, drug sales, that we're all dealing with, right? So when we talk about somebody drinking a beer, that's obvious, right? There's times where I think someone's smoking crack and they're smoking a cigarette. You know, this is very much in my face all the time, right? So my question I posed to the gentleman that was drinking is, you know, what is it that is evident right now? Is it smell of urination, people defecating in public? You know, what are the issues right now for us? You know, a lot of that comes from drinking. Some of that comes from drug use, but a majority of that is coming from drinking, from people that are intoxicated 24/7. Because they can't get to the restroom, they can't go, you know, walk down the block to the public toilet. So, you know, I'm trying to deal with the things that are present itself right now. My feeling is kids should not be thinking that's a norm, right? So they shouldn't grow up having to smell urine, right? So I'm trying to deal with, you know, one thing at a time. I'm definitely dealing with a drug issue, and trust me, today I was taking on people left and right saying, your time is, we're not allowing you to loiter, to sell drugs or use. It's not going to happen. So we're going to pick our battles one thing at a time, because we can't just come in and all of a sudden say, done, right? So it's got to be one thing at a time. And, you know, I wish I had a magic pill that could just make it all go away, but we're really trying to address one issue at a time. And the fact that the museum is opening, I mean, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. Huh? Tenderloin.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Question, Captain, sorry.
Yes.
Captain, question. You know, you said earlier when you began your presentation about like connecting some of these neighborhood groups, because I know Captain Insurance is working with Luke Spray. We kind of sponsor developing all of these little individual block safety groups, which we formed one here, and I know there's others on some of the other blocks. But she said something about trying to bring those groups together. Is there going to be some sort of coordinated effort to actually coordinate these groups together somehow?
You know what? I actually left it up to the group that I met today to invite other groups to join in. Really, you know, that whole thing is something that the community started doing. I mean, they empowered themselves to start a safety committee, which is great for each block. Now maybe it's time to like bring everybody's ideas together and start building on those ideas as opposed to being independent. Because then, you can deal with us, but, okay, so we have to be over here because you're going to have this program, and we have to be over here. Well, at what point are people going to go, well, we're more important. We need you over here, and then we need you over here, instead of just kind of working together for one thing at a time, kind of picking our battles. Because for me, it's got to be obtainable. The ideas have to be obtainable. They have to have success. Because if you don't have success, then the ideas are good, but it doesn't mean it's working. So some things might need to be more tweaked than others. Does that make sense?
Because we have our neighborhood watch. For this block, we'd like to expand it.
Which is a great idea.
When you do your next captain's meeting, I know you all get together and talk about issues. Could you bring up the idea that other cities are adopting to pass your commission, that we could possibly support you on that issue, to put out a request for people to share video with the department?
We're already doing that.
Oh, good.
So a lot of this, we ask for lighting, we ask for video, and it's not. We don't watch it live. We have so many policies. One of my jobs was Special Investigations Division, and one of the policies was basically First Amendment right. So they're very, very strict policies in regards to watching video, and we've had very good success in while using our policy that. The restrictions actually have given us more access to people because it's trust, right? We're not going to go and watch the video live and really get in people's business, right? That's really what it's about. So you have that privacy, you have that, your rights really secured when it comes to San Francisco. The buildings, the newer buildings, we've asked for video. People are actually giving us video for the drug dealing to look at it and say, what is this activity that's going on in front of, I don't know, Jones and Golden Gate? What is this activity? Because we're experts, right? And so we can identify when you're talking about hand-to-hand, talk about, something that might be simple as pills or fake IDs or whatever it might be. So the videos are being shared. When a crime occurs, everybody's great about sharing that video. We have stills of people, we have videos of crimes being, actually long videos of incidents that happen with great pictures. You okay? Okay. But it is definitely being done.
We have to move on, so I
Yes.
thank the captain.
We're gonna take off. If anybody has any questions, majority of the time I will be at the station. If you have any questions, please come by, email me. My email is on the list. A lot of times that's quicker than to call. Okay.
Is the district being, which direction is it expanding? I'm sorry.
So we're going from Gary.
On the right.
We're going from Gary to Mission, but we don't have Gary, we don't have Mission. And then we're going from Van Ness to 3rd Street, and we have neither one of those streets either.
We're located on Mission between 5th and 6th, so it wouldn't be falling in your new
No,
jurisdiction.
but we're coordinating, I just had a meeting with the captain of Southern. We're going to be
Okay.
coordinating our resources, because what will happen is bad things will come your way if we start pushing. So we want to make sure that we have consistency in those areas, because Mission is going to be an important street.
Okay.
Because anything that borders districts can be very vulnerable to different issues with drug dealing, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, it's great to know. Thank you.
My question was, when is it?
We have to end that.
I was wondering when will the drugs end? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, guys, take care.
That's a tricky question.